Hello, everybody. It's just a minute past, so we are going to get started. My name is Victoria. I am the support and retail sales manager here at Vacation Port. And today I wanted to walk you through some editing basics for your website, specifically on how to add and manage a couple of different types of links. So everyone during this webinar will be muted, but if you do have any questions, feel free to input those in the question box and we will get to those at the end of the webinar. I will also be recording this webinar and I will email it out later for a reference for you guys to have. So today we will go over 4 different types of links that you can use on your website. Specifically, we will go over how to link to external websites, how to add links to internal pages, links to target searches, and links to email addresses. We'll also look at where to go in your website editor to add these links, and I will share a few helpful tips to keep in mind when adding links to the site. So using links keeps your website looking clean and organized while still guiding your visitors to helpful information. They also allow for clear calls to action, helping you guide visitors exactly where you want them to go. Whether that's a contact page, a travel search or target search, or another section of your website. So to get started, to add a link, this is going to be the same process no matter what link you add in, but I'm just going to kind of go over it at this front section and then just note that when we add the other links, you're going to want to do this same step for each one. So to add a link, you're first going to want to access your Nextsite admin areas, specifically the site navigation where you see all of your pages. And then you're going to select the page that you want to add in your link. From here, you will select Edit, right here, to the text block where you want your link to go. And then you'll highlight either some text. So I've got an example, the text that you want to be clickable, or you can even highlight an image if you want the image to be clickable. Once that's highlighted, you will select the link icon in the toolbar. When you highlight, there's a lot of different little buttons here, but when you're in the actual Nextsite admin, if you hover over each one, this one will say link. Again, this process will be the same with all the links we'll be discussing today. This is just the front step, and then you'll get a bunch of different options of what kind of links to add in. So to start, we'll go over external websites and how to link those. So external links are perfect for sending visitors to outside resources. So think of things like supplier co-branded pages, your blog site, or any travel articles or government articles or websites. This is a really great way to support your website content without needing to duplicate the information and feeling like you need to copy what they have on their website onto yours. So on this slide, you'll see a couple of screenshot examples of where external links might appear. So this one is showing, maybe you have an external blog that you want to share where you've been, you kind of track where you've been around the world. So you can check out the blog here. Here's another example of helpful resources that maybe could be useful for your clients when they're traveling. Links for different customs and passport information, warnings, tips, etc. So in order to add these external links to your website, you'll want to follow, again, the previous steps that we covered. And once you click that link icon, you will get a link properties pop-up, which is going to be this box here. Here you'll choose the external link as your link type. So you'll select link type and then external URL. and then you'll get a field to add the website that you're wanting to link. For external websites, I highly recommend going to this Target tab. So from this spot, you'll see link info, and then the next tab over says Target. And I like to set this target to new window. This will ensure that the external link that you're adding opens up in a new browser tab. So keeping your own site open in the original tab. It just makes it so your website doesn't get lost and the visitor can easily get back to your website without having to press the back button a couple times, or maybe just completely forgetting that they were on your website. So it just kind of keeps your website still at an easily reachable spot. One thing to be aware of when adding external links is to make sure that the URL is correct and up to date, and testing that out when you add it on to your website. So just making sure that it opens up properly and that it works before you fully publish it. Next, we have internal links. So internal links connects different pages within your own website. So these are great for directing your visitors to pages like your About Us page. Maybe you have an FAQ page or group trip details. So helping people explore your website with ease. An example of this is you might have a group trips page where you can display key highlights of upcoming trips, and then use the internal links to send visitors to a separate page with full details. So this will keep your main page super clean and focused. So that's this example here. So maybe you want to have a page where you are just highlighting the upcoming trips you're hosting, and you have a few different ones that you want to display right away, and you're just kind of pointing out main information about these trips. But then if you select more details, you can link it to a page where there's all sorts of information, itinerary, photos, if there's a supplier involved, etc. There's so much more information that you can keep separate so it's not clogging up your main page. Again, just kind of keeping it clean. That's a great way to use an internal page. Another common use is maybe on your homepage, you want to include a short intro about your services, and then you can invite visitors to learn more about your team by linking your About Us or Meet the Team page. So here you'll see, we have a little intro on our homepage. It says, want to learn more about who we are and how we can help? Click here to meet our team. So that link can link to your, again, About Us or Meet the Team page. So to add a link to another page from your website, you're going to select Page as your link type. And then you're going to see a list of all the pages that you have created within your Nextsite admin. So you will want to make sure that the page that you're trying to link already exists. Otherwise, it's not going to show up in this list. And then I don't typically worry about Target as far as having it open up in a new tab, since we already are in your website. Just linking it to another website, or excuse me, linking it within your own website, you don't need to have it open up into a new tab. So next we have target searches. So target search links are ideal when you want to highlight specific travel types or experiences. So think of things like luxury cruises or all-inclusive resorts. These links show offers based on your target search setup. They're especially useful if you're wanting to emphasize a specialty. So on the slide here, you'll see an example of linking to Tropical Escape. So in my intro on my homepage, I wrote that, as an example of things that I offer, a tropical escape or a European getaway. And you can link Tropical Escape to offers in the system that relate to that. You can also highlight different kinds of travel. Someone might be interested right from the homepage. So what kind of travel are you looking for? Ocean cruises, river cruises, tours, family, romance, all inclusive. You can kind of guide the user or the visitor to other kinds of offers as well, just to give them some inspiration. And again, these will lead directly to offers in the system based on the target search that you created. So to create a link to a target search, you want to choose the target search as the link type, and then select the title of the search you want it to link to. Again, you're going to want to make sure that the target search has been created first, and then it will populate in the target search section. Another thing to keep in mind is you will want to double check that when you create the target search that you are getting results with that search, because you want to make sure that there are offers displaying when it is clicked on. So again, this just kind of keeps the visitor experience smooth and relevant to what you're selling. Lastly, we have email addresses. So email links make it super easy for someone to get in touch with you. It's the perfect it's perfect to add to your footers, contact us sections, or your headers in your bio, wherever you may want to have your email address. I highly recommend adding the email link onto it. This just makes it so when somebody clicks on the email, they open the user's email program with your email address already filled in. So on this slide, you'll see a couple of examples of how we can add an email link. The first is simply having the email written out, but adding the email link onto it. So it's super obvious that this is an email. When I click on it, it's going to open up an email and automatically fill the email address in the to field. Another example is you can do more of a call to action. So here it says, ready for your next adventure? Contact us. And we can link the email on that contact us. So just kind of just a different way to create that call to action, a different way just to, instead of blatantly just here's my email, just a fun variety to add. So to create an email link, all you need to do is select the email option for the link type, and then you're just going to add the email address that you want to pull up when they select it. What's nice about this too is you can do different email addresses throughout the website. So if you have a Meet Our Team page and you have a few different advisors listed, each person can have a contact me button and have their own email address linked to it. So you can make it really customizable wherever you are on the website. But that's it. It's a really great little shortcut for your visitors and especially helpful on a mobile app where clicking to open an email app is faster than copying and pasting an address. So just again, makes it super seamless, super easy for someone to get in contact with you. So as a final wrap up, here are a few tips to help you avoid some common issues. First is to keep the link text short and descriptive. So using phrases like learn more or view here instead of pasting in long URLs. So that's an example I've put here. So visit our blog versus, linking the whole URL. This is fine. This one is just a bit cleaner. Avoid linking to pages that are unfinished or unpublished. This is very specific to when you're linking to internal pages. You want to make sure that those pages that you've created are completed and published. Otherwise, it's going to go to a dead end. And I always recommend testing out your links. Again, external links, that's super important as well. It's just a quick step that saves from any broken paths, confusion. I even recommend creating a monthly or quarterly routine to review links on your website just to keep everything updated. Sometimes links just change, especially external links. So, you know, you just want to make sure that you have the most accurate, up-to-date one, especially if you're using co-branded links. I've seen situations where the format of those links have changed and it just directs them back to the supplier page without you getting any credit for it. So always important to check on the links that you have on your website, just making sure that they're going to the right places. Overall, though, I think when you're adding links, just keep in mind that the whole goal is to create an ease and flow of your website. So if links don't make sense in certain places, you do not have to use them. Just, if you find that it could be easier for the visitor, if there was a link to go to another section of your website, try it out. But you definitely don't have to use them everywhere. Just think of the ease and flow of your website as you're playing around with links. So today we quickly went over 4 types of links that you can start adding into your website. So feel free to try these out. Even 1 or 2 links can, help make your site feel more intuitive. I'm not seeing any questions came up. So if anybody has any, feel free to add them to the chat right now. Let's see. Okay, doesn't look like any are coming in. But if you do have any questions that pop up, please feel free to reach out to our support team. I have our contact listed here on the screen. Again, I will plan on emailing the recording of this webinar by the end of this week, so keep your eye out for that. And I think that wraps it up. So thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day and a great rest of your week.